the pleasure of meeting yet. My name is DJ Barton, one of your three co-founders of Levarti, and very excited to share the vision of where we are, what we're doing, and where we're headed for you. I know a lot of you are a part of what we're doing. There's a lot of guests on here as well. So for those of us that are already a part of Levarti, why don't you say hello and welcome all the guests that are on tonight, if you don't mind. Give them some Levarti love. And what I'd like to do is take the next 20-ish minutes or so. I always like to say or so because sometimes I like to talk, but I'll do my best not to go too long tonight. We got a big night. Right after this, we're actually doing a little bit of a training regarding one of our marketing pieces. So I'll make sure I take a break between the two. And that way you know what's what here. But we're excited. Obviously, you're on here because somebody thought enough of you to share this idea with you. The reason I say that is because we are actually in pre-launch. And pre-launch doesn't mean we haven't been working full speed ahead. It just means that pre-launch allows us to work out all the kinks in live action, in live time, in real time with what we're doing. So that's really what pre-launch is all about. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about where we are and where we're heading. Before I get into it, just so we're not complete strangers, I've been a business owner and an entrepreneur for the past 27 plus years. And I've owned traditional companies. I've been top rep in many other companies as an affiliate. And we actually started this company because there was a void missing in what our mission was, what our purpose is, and where we're going. The last company that I was a part of, believe it or not, myself and my team were about 75% of the production of that last company. And as we climbed the top ranks of that company, the executives of that company made some promises that they could not keep. And so we could have kept our head down and just ignored it, but that's against our morals and belief. And or the other two options were go find another company that we could get passionate about. In full transparency, there wasn't anything out there that got my attention. And so I went to my business partner, Jake. I'm like, man, what do we do? You know, I could obviously go into coaching, but that, you know, I enjoy helping people, but it's not a true fulfillment for me. And he said, the only other option is we start our own company. And, you know, he has a tremendous amount of experience in running different, very successful companies. However, I did not say yes right away. I took about 3.5 days actually to make the commitment of diving all in. Because how many of you would agree that when you start a company and eventually have thousands of affiliates, which we have over 1,000 affiliates already, but tens of thousands of customers, there's also a ripple effect of other people in those communities that are impacted if you don't do the right things. It's the indirect people. And so I wanted to make sure that we were ready to take this monster of an opportunity and just run full speed ahead. And so once we commit to things, as you get to know me and my partners, we're just all in on it. And we wanted to create a movement because I started looking back at the 6 companies I've been a part of over the 27-year career. And every time I would get close to the top ranks of the company and meet the leaders and the owner and the executives, I learned that they would make changes and pivot that were in the best interest for the company and not the field. How many of you might be able to relate to something like that? And it frustrated me. I'm like, is this how all of companies are? Because if it is, it's not, it's kind of yucky in a sense. And so we wanted to truly build a company that was for the field, which is you, but from the field, which is us, because we're actually builders at heart. We love being in the trenches on a daily basis. And we wanted to build a company that was your company that you could be incredibly proud of. And that's what we've done. And I want you to understand, pre-launch means you're in the garage meeting when Mark Zuckerberg was talking about Facebook or the owners of Google or Apple or Microsoft. How many of you heard those stories where they were in the garage talking about a vision, some goals they had and some dreams they wanted to become a reality? And that's really where we're at. There's people on this call, I see their faces right now, that came in before we were even incorporated with complete blind faith and trust on where we're going. And just know that we don't take that lightly. And so we're very excited. Now, I will tell you, even though we are in pre-launch, we pre-launched on September 18th, and the first 12 days of that month, which was the 18th to the end of the month, we actually already paid out 309 commission checks that month. And from October, November, December, and January, we've averaged over 155 people that have qualified for rank advancements, promotions in our company, revenue sharing in our company. And we've probably, without me talking to my COO, somewhere in the neighborhood of over 1,000 commission checks or more have been cut. So just know that all of that has been tested during pre-launch, which we're incredibly grateful for. And then as far as our product, people are already getting a tremendous amount of savings and benefits on the product. And I'll talk about that as well. And speaking of the product, whenever you have the right vision, the right systems, the right tools, the right leadership in place, would you guys agree that we could pick any type of product as long as you believe in it and plug it into a system and have success, right? I mean, think about McDonald's. I mean, maybe you believe in McDonald's, maybe you don't, that they're the best burgers in the world, but can you agree that they have a proven system that works really, really well, right? Even though it's not like the highest quality burgers, it's all about the system. They have 15-year-olds and 80-year-olds and everywhere in between working that system. And eventually there's going to be no humans because robots will probably take it over. That's how great their systems were and still are today. And so just know that we didn't pick any product, though, that anybody really would like think about. We wanted to pick a product that we believed in when we are the most happiest, but we know when you are the most happiest. And that's in the travel industry. How many of you, when you're on vacation, you have a different bounce in your step? You beat to a different drum. You're forgetting about reality for a week or 10 days whenever you're traveling. And, you know, at the end of the day, the two biggest reasons why people don't travel is because either A, they don't have the time, or B, they don't have the money. How many of you, either externally or internally, have used those two excuses not to go on more vacations? And so our mission is to have you never have to make an excuse again why you shouldn't go on vacation and spend time with the people that you care about the most. I hope you're okay with that. And we also know that timing's everything. How many people have you heard in life say it's not what you know, but who you know, and also being at the right place at the right time? And I want to just touch on it briefly, but how many of you would agree whenever there's an impact or a disruption in the world, there's also on the other side opportunity? I mean, look what COVID did. That disrupted the world, and there's a lot of wealthy people came out of that era, believe it or not, right? And so just think about that. I'm going to scale it down to, you know, terms that you might know, but look at what Uber did back in the day with taxis. I mean, how many of you, when you think of going from point A to point B, the first thing out of your brain is taxi? Probably not, right? Unless you're in Vegas or New York, right? Most of the case, it's Uber or now Lyft, and you're price comparing back and forth, right? And if you look at, you know, what Netflix did to Blockbuster, right? Now, the Netflix created that whole boom. Now there's dozens of other apps for different programs like Peacock and Amazon Prime and Hulu and all the stuff, right? It's crazy on how that transpired, but they disrupted the Blockbuster era and the Hollywood video area. How many of you realize I'm dating myself right now, right? And then when you look at what the music industry, how many of you remember, Circuit City? Do you guys remember Circuit City? Going in there, lines of cassettes and DVDs and tape cassettes and all the things. Now you just go on Spotify or Pandora or Apple Music or pick your passion, and it's all there at your fingertips. So the world is getting digitalized. Would you agree with that? And if you think about it, the only change really in the travel industry that I remember since I was a little kid is instead of going into a brick and mortar type of a place where I'd go through flip books and magazines trying to find the vacation my mom would take us on, now it's going online and I'm just clicking and ordering. How many of you agree with that? Like, drop in the comments, where's your number one go-to site when you book travel? Is it Expedia, Travelocity, Booking.com, Priceline, Ogata, Google? I mean, think about all of the different places most people will go. We all have our favorite. Cheap tickets. I mean, there's tons of stuff out there. Booking.com, I see some answers. Expedia. And so here's what I know, and here's what most people don't pay attention to. Those are all free websites, right? Which means you're the customer. When you go to those sites, those companies are making a commission, and they've conditioned and programmed us how to do our own work. Kind of like, I know this is crazy, how many of you go to the grocery store and do your own checkout? Because, and literally now we just programmed how to do their job, and we're still paying the same price for all the groceries. I didn't get a W-2 from Safeway or Costco or Fry's recently, right? Or your favorite store, but just think about how we're getting conditioned and programmed to do it ourselves and pay the same rate. And so what if there was a way where you could do it all yourself, but be part of an exclusive membership or a subscription and actually save money so you can afford to go on travel and vacations to spend with the people you care about the most? Anybody like that idea? And then on the flip side, imagine sharing this concept through social media, virtually, whether it's online or offline, and creating what I like to say, viral wealth. That is what we are creating at Levarti. We're very excited about it. So I'm going to dive into the presentation, and I'll just give you a 30,000 foot above view of what this whole thing's all about. And just know, the person that invited you on here tonight, they can do a live demo for you. I love using the product, talking about it all over social media and my networks, and then doing live demos on it so you can actually see all the benefits and perks. So today is just a few slides to give you a general idea. And then for those of you that are on here, not just about savings, but you want to create some extra money, how many of you would like to make more money this year than you did last year? Anybody on here like that? Because that's what we're going to teach you how to do to take some time and help you out there. So what you're looking at right now on your screen are 5 different levels of membership, starting from coach to premium to first class leisure, first class Lux, and first class, or RX rather, and then first class Lux. Now, every membership has a monthly membership fee, just like all your other subscriptions do. We have a one-time setup and activation fee, which includes your first month. So for example, if you became a coach member today, you're only going to pay $100 today. And then 30 days from now, which it would be March 6th or so, you would then pay your next membership due, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, the coach is very basic, but gives you a tremendous amount of value. It gives you everything that you can book on Expedia and all your favorite booking sites that you made in the comments, but you have the benefit of saving money. All right. Now, one of the things I do like to point out is we have 110% price match guarantee. That's supposed to give you peace of mind. What do I mean by that? Well, 80% of the time, we will always be the best online price. We can never be 100% of the best. It's impossible in any industry. But how many of you would realize that hotels, cruises, and flights will create fire sales and do deals, and you just can't compete with them because they own the travel, right? And so the times that they do those fire sales, we just have your best interest at heart, where we're going to cover 110% of the difference. Now, the premium membership gives you everything that's in coach, but in addition to that, you get access to vacation rentals all over the world, like weekly screaming deals, all right? In addition to that, how many of you maybe eat out at restaurants a few times a week or maybe a month, and like restaurants like, maybe Subway or McDonald's or Schlotsky's or Domino's or all your favorite chain restaurants that are out there on the go, fast food, but also dine-in restaurants. And just kind of know that you get deals on all those through us, buy one, get ones kind of thing. There's over, I think, 7,500 or 8,500 locations coast to coast, including your activities. How many of you like to go out and play Topgolf, for example, or go to movies or bowling in your community? Those are on there as well. And then, of course, shopping, from anything from Costco to sneakers to a new pair of brakes on your vehicle. Like literally, you can imagine everything. All right. Now, first class leisure is something special. It actually gives you everything I just mentioned, but how many of you would we have a customer appreciation program where if you pay your membership for 12 consecutive months, we will pay for you and your family to go on a vacation. You have 3,000 locations to pick from all over the world, by the way. And literally, whether you want to drive to them in the United States or go internationally, they're all 4 to 5 star properties, $1,800 value just for that alone. We will pay for your hotel, your resort fees and taxes. You just have to pay to get there. And that comes with the first class leisure. I looked at it as a built-in savings account for fun, to guarantee yourself to go on a vacation. Because how many of us in the world, you don't have to put it in the comments, have a problem with budgeting for different things in life, right? So this is just a great way to force yourself to save, to go on amazing vacations, to create memories, with the people you care about the most. All right. Now, in addition to that, First Class RX, you can see what comes with that. And by the way, you can see all the activation fees and the monthly prices. There's no contract. You can cancel whenever you want. And just know the first month, whenever you pick, will be that activation fee, and month 2 starts the monthly membership. But one of the things, First Class RX, I got a text on it today from one of our members going, this is absolutely amazing. It's a dream come true. This is going to save me a ton of money. How many of you know that the average American spends about $1,300 a year on pharmaceutical medicines? Now, I'm not a big pharma guy because I don't take any medicines, but a lot of people out there do, and a lot of them have to survive. How many of you know people that need to take certain meds, with whether it's insulin or what have you, to survive, right? Well, with our First Class RX, you get access to over 805 of the top used needed drugs in America, which is 90% of them, where there's no monthly cost in addition, other than your monthly membership fee. And you get access to all your prescriptions that you are prescribed on a yearly basis through this program. And then First Class Lux just gives you everything from Coach to First Class Lux. You get that as well. So we cover everybody's personality based on their wants, needs, and desires with their membership currently, okay? And I say currently because right now we're in pre-launch. We are adding even more value as the weeks come on. We're actually doing our launch event here in Florida coming up on the 24th and 25th, where we're going to roll out. That's our official launch event where we're going to have all our T's crossed, I's dotted, things are rolling. Now, what I want to spend some time on with you is to switch some gears here for a minute, because I want to talk about compensation. How many of you I didn't say love money, but how many of you guys like to make some more money? Anybody on here like to make some more money than you currently have just by sharing this concept with others? By the way, we have all the tools and systems already in place for you to do that. And we simplified the comp plan. Here's one of the things I want you to understand. We built this compensation plan from a pain point from the masses. How many of you have tried some type of side hustle and did not get the levels of success that you thought you desire, and you put in the work? That's the key part, right? You got to put in the work. But how many of you maybe thought that you followed the systems, you did what the leaders told you to do, but for whatever reason, you did not get the success you're looking for? Does anybody relate to that? I'm trying to pull the chat up so I can see your guys' comments, but there's a bunch of them. So the truth of the matter is most people should say, yes, me, or I know people that have. Well, one of the things that we wanted to do is solve what we believe is the 65-year-old problem. And what the 65-year-old problem is in the work from home industry is that there's more people that join a side hustle and fail than they actually succeed. And most people never talk about that. And to us, that was a big problem. So we wanted to identify the habits as to why people don't get the success and solve that with giving you the reasons why you have the ability to have success with Levarti. Is that okay with you guys? And I'm going to show you that as we speak. All right. All right. So there's 3 ways we get paid. We simplified it. We have the first income stream is what we call our direct referral pay, our direct commission. The second one, which I'll spend most of my time on, is the revenue pools, which is our second income stream. And then the third income stream is our check match. So let's start here. And, we can give you a copy of this slide deck. You can take pictures, but if you just request it from whoever referred you on here, we'll just give it to you. But the first way you get paid is the first month. If you remember those activation fees, whether they were 100, 150, or 200, we pay you 48% commission on that activation fee, which is as low as $48 up to $96, depending on the level people get started at, which is amazing. That's upfront, immediate cash. You get paid within 7 days because we have a 3-day right of rescission. And so if you sign me up today, 7 days from now, that 48% is going to be available for you to cash out. Drop a 1 if that made sense. Now, the second way we get paid is you're going to get a 10% override on the monthly memberships, which is great. Okay. Now we gamified the compensation plan because games are fun, right? And so I want you to take note of this because this is going to be very important to set up the next slide. So our coach membership is valued at 1 point. Okay. The premium membership is valued at 2 points. And then the first class RX and leisure is 3 points. And then the first class Lux is 4 points. Put 4 points at the chat. If you just heard all 4 of those, that would be great for me. And so I'm going to talk about that here next. So why is that important? Here's what we did. When I told you we built this company for the field, from the field, this is what I need you to understand. How many of you would like to get paid like an owner without being an actual owner with the risk? Just put me in the chat if that's you, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, this comp plan with all 3 components with our product has never been done in 65 years in the work side hustle world that we live in today. I just want you guys to know. And that's why you're going to have different results than you've ever had in your entire life if you follow the systems and, become incredibly coachable. But here's what we did. We took 33%, okay, of the top line revenue, the gross revenue. For those of you who don't know gross and net, gross is before expenses, before everything, before we pay employee staff, before we pay vendors, before we get paid. The first money that goes out is to you, all right? 33% off the top. And what we did is we divided it over here into 11 pools. Now, I know there's a 10 there, but if you go back up here to 2+, we have a fast start bonus, where if you hit pool 2 in your first 30 days, so if you sign up today and you hit pool 2 in your first 30 days, you're going to get in our bonus pool, which is 2+. You only have 30 days to do that, your first 30 days, and that's it, all right? And then what we did is we took that 33%, we divide it by all 11 pools, which adds up to 3% in each pool. If you take 3 times 11, that's 33%. There's your math for the day. All right, that's how it works. Real simple. Now, there's 3 qualifications to get in all 10 pools, but in the first 6 pools, there's only 2 qualifications. Put a 2 in the chat because we're going to focus on those 2 first. Let me break it down for you. Awesome, Brandy. Awesome, D. So here's how it works. To get in the first revenue pool, all you need is 3 personal points. Now, those 3 personal points can come from 2 areas. Your personal sale to yourself, which is never heard. This is unheard of with what we're doing, by the way. And then any personal customers you bring in. So think about this. If you came in at one of our 3-point levels or 4-point levels, you personally are already qualified for pool 1. And here's what I want to point out. How many of you been in companies where if they had revenue share, it's only the top 2 or 3 tiers, ranks in a company that actually get into those revenue pools? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's not the people that just get in at the beginning. They don't even know if they're going to stay for years or not. You're literally could get in the first pool with your own customer, or by being your own customer. And just think of the power of that, because if you sign me up and I came in at a 3-point product, I get in pool 1, but you also get the same credit to help you get into whatever pool you're shooting for, which is powerful. Now, the second qualification is company growth after you get started. What does that mean? So we are not a full-on network marketing company. We are an affiliate I call us a super affiliate marketing company. So some of you might have been involved in network marketing in the past, and you might know terminology of binary, which is 2 teams, or unilevel or matrix, where you go wide. That's not Levarti, by the way. All right. We are a one-legged jet stream. So think of a one-legged spillover from the company down. So I'm in your team, my partner's in your team, all of our leaders are in your team, everybody that signs up after you is in your team, because everybody that came in before you, when they sign people up, they go to the bottom, which is below you, and anybody below you puts people's sales and they go to the bottom. How many of you have sat in company conventions in the past wishing those studs on stage would ever sign up in your business? How many of you? Because I can't be the only one that I used to think that. I was always the one thinking that. And for the first time ever, that dream or wish or prayer has been answered for you. That's 100% this comp plan. So how do you get to pool 6? You need 30 points. That could literally be, 30 points, could be 30 coach, or 8 of our Lux, because that's our 4 points. 8 times 4 is 32, or anywhere in between. Think about the power of that, okay? Now, I want you to understand the second part of that is company growth is 1,000 points. You take 1,000 and divide it by 8, or by 4, excuse me, and everybody came in at the lot, you're condensing time. You see how that works? Only 200 sales. And let me tell you something. Many sales coming in every 7 to 10 days. So just know that we're gaining some traction, gaining momentum with what we're doing. Drop a 1 if you can. My internet just said I'm unstable. Can you guys hear me okay? Awesome. Thank you. And so the way it works is this. I'm going to put something in perspective for you guys. Is that okay? And so we are doing less than $100,000 a month in revenue right now. And that's okay. I'm proud of that because we haven't even launched yet. So we're during pre-launch, been building the foundation for all of us, yourselves included. Okay. But can we all imagine a few months after our company convention for a moment? Let's say we fast forward and the company's doing 1 million a month. Can we all assume that just for this hypothetical example I'm going to share with you guys for a minute to put this comp plan into perspective? So if we're doing a million, not if, when we're doing $1 million a month, if you take 3% of $1 million, that is 30 grand. So that means there will be 30 grand that goes into pool 1, 30 and 2, 30 and 2 plus, 30 and 3, all the way down. All right. And that's how it works. 333 grand is 33% of $1 million divided by 11, 30 grand in each one. Okay. Now, how is that divided out? Here's how it works. Let's hypothetically say there's 200 people in pool 1. That means 30K would be divided by that amount of people. If there was 100 people in pool 2, that 30K is divided equally. If there's 50 people in pool 3, it's divided equally, that 30K. If there's 6 people in pool 6, it's divided equally. If there's only a couple of you in pool 7, you get to share it. That means 15 grand each. All right. If you're the only one, if you're the first one to pool 10, you get it all. I just want you guys to understand the power of this. So it's a race to the top for a lot of people because I'm sure you would imagine getting closer to pool 10 will be less people in the pool than there is pool 1. That's just the way it's going to work. But here's the best part. You ready for the best part? Let's say you're in pool 6. Well, you're still going to be in pool 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you're going to get paid out of all the pools you previously hit. Drop a 5 if that just made sense. I hope it did. All right. That is the power of this comp plan. Now, for pool 7 through 10, there is a third requirement. Now, I will tell you, this is powerful. This is what hit home for us when we built this comp plan before I get into pool 7, is we wanted to show you how to help the masses that could never get to financial freedom in the past, trying to side hustle and give them financial freedom, because you could literally get to pool 6 without getting any builders, recruiting anybody, and just getting customers. I hope you heard that. And even going to pool 7 through 10, if you bring in influencers and influential people, really you could bring in some people without even building massive teams all the way 7 through 10. But more than likely, most people won't go that path. You're going to want to bring some leaders in, develop some duplication. But pool 7 through 10, the lineage requirements are here. And lineage is people who you introduce, who they introduce, who they introduce, who they introduce. That's what lineage is. All right. Now, when you do get to pool 7 through 10, we're going to pay you extra money out of the corporate account because you're going to help us build this company. So in addition to the direct commission, the residual income, the revenue share, now you're going to get an additional 1 to 5% check match on every personal person that you bring in and help them get what I call pool qualified. So if you brought in, let me go look at the top line. I see Deborah, Jamie, Sandy Toes, Help Me Rhonda, and myself. Let's say you enrolled all 5 of us and helped all 5 of us get into whichever pool that's listed. And whatever money we're making, the company is going to pay you 1 to 5% of that gross amount. Drop a 5 if that made sense. So that's the power of co-creating with what we're doing. So as you can see, we wanted to build a compensation plan where everybody has a legit shot to win at whatever level they desire to participate in with our company. That's why people are excited. They finally found a way where they can plant their flag and call home, because whether you want to be a big player or just start something on the side, you can get to a full-time income. By the way, We have actuaries that look at our comp plan, look at all the comp plans in our industry, base the percentage of how many people get to what level and all the different scenarios. And at $1 million a month, the potential at pool 6 is between $3,000 and $6,000 a month in residual income by just getting less than 30 customers. Think about the power of that for a minute. Where can you go and go get 30 customers at the base level and get to a full-time income? See, I can tell you something. There will be people that get to pool 6 that probably won't sleep after that because they won't be able to stop talking about the opportunity that is in front of them because they've never gone and got 30 customers and made the money that they're going to make with us. The reason why I say that is most people are accustomed to only getting paid on their sales, or if they build a team off of their sales, where with our comp plan, the more sales you get, the more you get paid off the entire company, which is a much greater pool. Would you agree? I'm just saying. All right. So that's what we're excited about. I also like to point out, because people think this and they don't talk about it, and I'm proud to talk about this. How many of you have ever been taught that most 90% of startups don't make it out of the starting gate? How many of you heard that before? Be honest, put it in the chat. It's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. It actually inspires me. And so here's the truth of the matter. Is you're right. And the reason they don't make it is not because they don't have awesome system, tools, resource, leadership, and culture, although we have that. It's because they run out of resources. How many of you know what I'm talking about when I say resources? For those of you that don't know, it's money. They run out of money. And I want you to know, myself and my 2 other partners, we started this company with 0 debt. We didn't borrow any money. And we've got plenty in reserves, millions, 7 figures, so you don't have to worry about that either. And the last part I want to share with you, which I'm very proud of, is that since September 18th, day 1, we've been self-sufficient, meaning we've been running the company on profits. And we have not had to go back to the well to run this company. We are very systematic. We are very organized. We are very detailed. And we understand business, and we're not going to overspend to appease people to look good. And we are dialed in, and we're very blessed. I just want you guys to know that. So I say that not to impress you, just to put your mind at ease as to where we're at. The last 2 things I want to talk about is where we're at. So right now, on this day, the next big event that we have, which is our official launch event, where we're going to roll out not only an enhanced 2.0 booking engine, but we're also launching curated trips. We're launching retreats all over the world. How many of you don't know what a curated trip, just out of curiosity, is? If not, I'll totally give you an example. But we're going to launch some curated trips. And here's what a curated trip is. How many of you been to Vegas before? Anybody on here been to Vegas before? If not, no big deal. If you have, this will be an easy thing for you to remember. But imagine going to Vegas. I'll give you one example. And just so you know, all of the things that come with this curated trip are optional, meaning you can partake in all of it, part of it, or none of it. But it's a curated trip, means it's all bundled together, okay? So imagine going to Vegas for 3 nights, 4 days, staying at the MGM Grand. The night you get in there, we do a little welcome party, but we jump in a double-decker bus, which is always a fun experience. And then we go across the strip to another property to have a great restaurant experience. And then day 2, we get in a double-decker bus again and do a true Vegas tour that most people have never done because they never leave their hotel. But then the day 3, if you're an adrenaline junkie, we're going to take you out to the NASCAR racetrack, the International Raceway. We're going to put you in a car to drive Indy cars, Lambos, Ferraris, Porsches, exotic cars. Put your helmet on, buckle up, and hold on as fast, as hard as you can, because you're going to go as fast as your body can handle it. You're going to be going around the track like NASCAR at Mach speed. And the last day, we're going to have a farewell party. And we're going to go take you to Circus Olay, which is one of the best shows in Vegas. All of that, plus your hotel stay, is only $1,080 for 2 people. Divide that in half. It's under $550 a person. How many of you like those life peak experiences? That's just one, to name a few. We have Napa Valley on our radar. We have Boston and Martha's Vineyard, New York experiences. We've got Nashville city music experiences. We've got, Mexico and the Dominican and all over international, South Africa, South America, Europe, Asia. I mean, the islands, the Pacific, all over the place. We're identifying them as we speak, just so you know. All right. So that's going to be our core product. And then we're rolling out another product. I call it our mystery product, which I can't get into details because I signed an NDA with my owners. But all I can tell you is this. Imagine driving your community to your booking engine, and they create a free customer account to book through your site instead of Expedia, and they save money and you make money. How many of you like that idea? Anybody like that idea? That's the only thing I can tell you. All right. But just know that that product's coming out also. We got some other surprises as well, but we're going to leave those for some of you as well. So just know that all that's getting launched at our company event. So if you're an early adapter, a visionary, somebody that's always wished they could get in early, be at the right place at the right time. That's where Levarti is right now. It's not for everybody right now because launch isn't perfect yet. I mean, I just helped a great lady set up her mass pay or her commission account today. Like as an owner, we're putting on every hat right now, doing everything we can to make it smooth and simple in the processes and videos and all the stuff. So, you know, if you're a perfectionist, I would say wait a couple weeks. But if you're an early adapter, I want to say welcome to the family. All right, because timing is everything. We know opportunities are never lost. They're just passed on to who's ready to take action. The last thing I want to leave you with before I take a quick break is our foundation. Because no matter how much money we all make, let's be honest, it's like we can go on a lot of different vacations. We can go to a lot of experiences, but giving back, how many of you just feel good when you give back to the community, right? And so we actually created a foundation called the Levarti Live It List Foundation. All right, it's actually in the works of being developed right now. And how many of you are familiar with the Make-A-Wish Foundation? Anybody on here familiar with Make-A-Wish? For those of you that aren't, it's kids that are terminally ill that have a wish to meet their idol before they pass away. And Make-A-Wish makes those wishes come true. That's what Make-A-Wish is. Well, with us, we're doing it a little bit different. But we're going to take the same concept of adults that are terminally ill that still haven't done enough with their kids when it comes to experiences. But we're not just going to take any family. We're going to take families that are doing the right things. They're not complaining about their circumstances. They're working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. Their kids are in school. They're going to church. They're giving back. They're being great citizens of their country. By the way, I said country because it doesn't have to be an American country, okay? And they're doing all the right things. Our team is going to vet them out. By the way, our affiliate fee is only $50 a year, all right? And that allows you to make money on everything we just talked about. But we take a percentage of the affiliate fee plus all the fundraisers we do throughout the year. And we're going to send as many families every year as we can on these Life Peak Bucket List, Live It List experiences because of you, all right? And I can tell you that that's a special opportunity to be able to do that. We're going to put cash in their pocket. We're not going to let them go on the trip alone because how many of you been on trips and you don't really know what to do, right? So we're going to send internal employees or individuals that we handpick based upon the personality of that family. And we're going to send a host with them to make sure they spoil themselves from the time they get off the plane until they get back on that plane. So it's going to be an amazing experience. You guys are a part of that. Every dollar that comes in, it participates in it in one way or another. So this is much bigger. This is a movement. This will be willable, sellable, and transferable to your kids. We're on the mission to create a legacy company with what we're doing. I know when I say this, it spooks people, but we're on a mission in 10 years or less to get 1 million users because we know what that foundation will do on the entire journey on the way. And so that's where our heart space is, guys. I appreciate all of you tuning in. Now on Tuesday nights, we do an overview like this. Then I take about a minute break. So if you're a guest, you can, exit stage left or right if you desire. Get with the person that invited you on. Let them know your level of interest. I always tell my guys, we're not in the convincing business. Either they see it or they don't. If you need a demo, go set up a demo with them. If not, you're ready to get started, you want to lock yourself in the tree, do that. But what I'm going to do is take about 15 minutes when we break for about 30 seconds to a minute. So I'll come back on here and I'm going to just teach on a couple topics. We have a marketing app that will blow your mind. It's called the Levarti Marketing App. It's powered by Rapid Funnel. And I'm just going to point out a couple things because we just rolled out a promotion where we're giving some cash prizes away for all of our affiliates. So grateful that you guys are here. Appreciate you. Get your questions answered. Don't not get your questions answered. This is too great of an opportunity for you not to speak up and figure out if this is for you or not. But if it is for you, let me be the first to welcome you to the family. We're excited. We've got over 1,000 people that have already said yes. So you're not alone. This thing will multiply in the months to come, and we're incredibly grateful. So I'm going to stop the recording, pause for about 30 seconds, and I'll be back on. Thanks, guys.